Man, another caster in the East StarCraft 2 scene. How you doing, Zuka?
I'm doing all right. I always say that it's a good opportunity to cast as. Wait, no. There's always a good. There we go. There's always a good opportunity to cast. And I will take every opportunity that I possibly can. So I'm excited. I'm pumped. We're going to the last game or last series of the night, and I'm kind of interested to see how this is gonna go between these two players. Honestly.
Yeah, definitely two players that we've seen some decent games out of, and kind of see Bly step on both of them and this evening, but both of them are going to try to get some games in to move on to the round of 16 in order to get caught back up. So with that, we're going to introduce our players. In the top left, it is our purple Zerg player from Endurance Esports. He was defeated by Bly pretty easily in that last series, but he's back and ready to go ahead and try to win this series to move on to the round of 16. Can he do it? From Endurance Esports, it is Crayon.
And his opponent on the opposite side of the map in the red, in the Terran, we're going to be seeing Haspe, and words. Words are hard, names are hard. I had it all going really good in my head, too. And yeah, like Cran, he's also kind of had a little bit of problems with being able to kind of win tonight. He had a little bit of a tough time being able to take out Blythe, and so now he's here trying to get his last little opportunity, and we'll see if he can pull it off.
Oh, it's observer chat. So
Yeah, you tried. It's all
yeah,
right.
yeah. But we actually have some fine craft breweries in the United States here. Just everyone's perception of beer in America is that college party, frat, light beer, beer bong sort of culture with what is it nowadays? It's like Natty Ice and Coors Light and Miller Lite.
I
Yeah, that's I'm assuming that's Haspe's uh, Haspe's impression of American beer. Um,
Although to be fair, if that's your impression of American beer, and you're probably looking in the wrong way. So we're gonna be seeing Crane go for a natural expansion pretty quickly here into his extractor, and then he's gonna follow up with a pool. What do you think is gonna come out from this, Hawkeye?
Yeah, I think Cran's just gonna go ahead and continue with that Speedling opener that he's been showing us, and so he's gonna go ahead and open up with Speedlings and then kind of figure out how he wants to go from there, depending on how Haspe's gonna be. So Zerg definitely a little bit more of a reactive race than the other ones. So Zerg definitely has that flexibility that they're seeing. Oh, they're doing this. I can either get my gas now, or I can go for it later. Just a little bit more than Terran. Terran and Protoss are a little bit more build order like dependent rather than like, hey, this is what they're doing. I can ebb and flow as I can. But we're gonna see
Yes.
Bunker actually going down here, and there is gonna be a Reaper in it, so maybe um, getting some shenanigans going on here. But we're gonna see a drone actually get taken out, and another Reaper is gonna make its way across the map here pretty shortly. So this bunker could prove troublesome for Cran.
Yeah, at worst, it's going to cost him his natural expansion. At best, he's going to clean it up with a couple of wings and maybe a couple of drones, too. Either way, this Reaper's going to take forever to kill his natural expansion, because Reapers are just not made to kill buildings, at least not since they stopped giving them the ability to, like, use those charges back in Wings of Liberty days, where you would throw the charges at the buildings and they would die just insanely fast with a lot of Reapers on your side of the field. But that's not the way it is anymore, so don't worry, folks. It has gotten better.
Yeah, so we're gonna see exactly why Haspe went for that aggression right there, because it's really the disguised fact that he's getting command center. So Terran definitely at their weakest when they're trying to expand, so they had to create those opportunities to get that expansion going, and that's what Haspe was doing, and he definitely bought a little bit of time, not really too much, but just kind of putting forward the aggression and making Cran react by making some more lings than he wanted to. So that's going to give him an opportunity to just be able to continue making his command center, making that drop down, and really getting that advantage.
that Overlord is going to scout out that this is a CC, so he's going to feel very comfortable, as you just saw, to get 6 drones. He's going to drone heavily here because he knows his opponent is not going to be doing anything super aggressive anytime soon.
Yeah, but we do see a Roachworm dropping down as well. So we've seen this actually from Crayon in his match against Dolan as well. I wonder if he thinks if that's like he likes using roaches in general and that's why that's the thing, or well, pause that thought. We do see Lings are actually going to take out a majority of Reapers, not even able to jump down from that cliff, and now these Hellions going to have to defend, and our SCV is going to go down. We're going to have to find out here. So looks like a couple of them are going to go down, but just not really sure where to attack. So these Lings definitely could have gotten more, but a good surround happens, and only 3 SCVs are lost in that run by.
Pretty well held there from Haspe, able to take out those units. And it actually looks like he's going to go for the Banshee follow-up with this, which is a little bit interesting. Maybe he's looking to do a more mech-style play.
Yeah, well, we're going to have to find out. Banshee definitely a common opener between Mech and Bile, so it's not going to be very conclusive, but Crayon knows that there's not going to be Cloak, so he doesn't have to, like, you know, invest in, like, a ton of Spore Crawlers and, you know, really get that detection going, too, so, because he can see that there's not Cloak being researched right now, and we actually do see a large amount of Lings and Roaches on the way, so it's a timing attack that we were expecting, so we're going to have to see if Haspe's going to be able to, throw that down, get that defense down, or if this is going to be just too much.
Yes, indeed, and here comes the army of Crayon. It is barreling towards that wall at 100 miles per hour, and it's not going to stop. There are no brakes on this train. As the Zerg player moves on into the natural expansion, needs to pull up his supply depots so that the Lings can't get into the main base, but the Roaches are going to get up there anyways. A little bit of a mistake there from Haspe. And now he's going to take a little bit more damage than he might have otherwise.
Yeah, we're going to see another Banshees in production. The Banshees is really going to be the item that's going to save Haspe here, but at what cost? All these SCVs are going down there in the center between Roaches and Zerglings here. So more Zerglings are starting to stream across the map, and the Hellions are going to clean up eventually, but these Roaches still doing a ton of damage. At 26 SCVs, it's a huge loss of workers here. Haspe definitely on the back foot.
No, that's basically just crippling here from our Terran player, and there's still more units coming on in. Haspe's going to lose all of his workers, essentially. 31 workers killed in that entire engagement, which is just amazing for Crayon, able to do that. And I think that if we had gotten the supply depots up sooner, then it would have been a lot easier for him to hold. And now he's got to play from really far behind and look for an advantage to kind of get back into this game. But it's going to be really hard. He's going to be fighting an uphill battle.
Yeah, and then we see that Spire is going to come down, so Spire is going to be the follow-up, and Haspe's just not going to be ready for the Mutalisks that are going to come up. So I think this is just going to be it. I'm not one to really call games early, but Haspe is going to have a very, very difficult time, and especially with the Spore Crawlers being at the mineral lines, these Banshees aren't going to get too much done here.
Yeah, and that kind of makes it so that the whole idea of going into Banshees is kind of not worth it anymore. I mean, there's even an Overseer over here to make sure that this is going to get shut down properly, and Haspe going to have to back out with the Banshees, and at this point, maybe even just using them for defense, put them in the middle map, make sure that his opponent can't get all the units across the map, just kind of snipe things. But he needs to focus on his economy and get that back up. So he's kind of has this kind of conflict of interest between trying to build up his economy and trying to build up his army so that he has a defense against all that Crayon has pretty much had planned for him right now.
Yeah, we do see that Widowmine's going to go ahead and get some more Lings here, so a decent defense right now, but I think the only saving grace right now for Haspe is that the Zerg player is still on 2 bases and is very invested in getting his Mutalisks out, and so that's going to give Haspe an opportunity, but it's going to be a very, very long battle.
Yeah, and with 10 Mutalisks entering the field now, Haspe's going to be fighting more and more uphill. He's getting to the point where it's going to be really hard for him to get back into this. Not impossible, but it's going to be really difficult. But like you said, the fact that the Zerg doesn't have a third base is actually kind of playing into his favor. I'm not sure exactly why he doesn't have that third.
Yeah, but well, he's just going into two-base mutalist play. So, if he were to get at third base, that would definitely delay his mutalist and lose that advantage. And it was much more viable for him to go into the mutalist first and then get that third base behind it. And you can see that that drone is going down, so he's finally going to get that third base here. But we do see that the Banshees get taken out by these Mutalisks and actually even deflecting the Hellions too. So there's just not much to defend from back at home. Maybe a handful of Marines, a couple of Widow Mines, but that's about it. So these Mutalisks are going to reign supreme if these missile turrets aren't up in time.
There is one missile turret in the main and one in the natural, but at this point, he might even want to chuck down another one because Mutalisks are pretty high in number right now, and once Mutalisks hit that certain velocity of, number of Mutalisks, that certain like magic number, then they just pretty much destroy missile turrets before missile turrets can really do damage to them.
Yeah, we're going to see Mutalisks are going to come in and try to take out this refinery, a little bit of a micro that we've seen from Mutalisks, and they're actually going to try to take out this this tech lab to prevent stim, but SCV is going to get around, and it's going to come at a cost. So a couple of Mutalisks go down, but 5 SCVs go down in the process. So.
And meanwhile, Crayon is teching up, macroing up, getting his upgrades, and did he go double Roachworm?
Yeah, he did. He went with double Roach Warren. We actually, it's probably a mistake on Crayon's end, just being used to being able to, like, okay, now I need to throw down a Roach Warren, even though he might have already got one. So, always a common thing. There's times when I've thrown down an evolution chamber instead of a spawning pool. It's embarrassing. But yeah, Haspe definitely having to work uphill. It's 120 supply to 80, so with a 20 worker supply deficit that mules can't even make up for, and then Army is actually starting to tighten up a little bit, just 10 supply difference, but it's one of those that it's just going to be an uphill battle for Haspe. His minerals are starting to run out in the main, so he has to start thinking about a third, but these Mutalisks are just making it really hard.
Well, yeah, and any third that he tries to take, the Mutalisks are just going to kind of swoop in and make it pretty much the most annoying experience that he has. He even has a Overlord over here poop and creep over at the third base to make sure that that doesn't come up anytime soon. He has his centrifugal hooks on its way, and overall, Crayon just being in a very solid position after that early game pressure.
Yeah, so we're going to see that more Lings are going to start flooding across, and more Roaches as well. So these Mutalisks have done their job. They've been annoying, but now this is the real pressure is. Bailing speed is just about to finish up here, and there it is, and ton of Bailings being made. That's 18 Bailings being morphed right at the spot. So this is going to be a big engagement here, and Haspe doesn't necessarily know about it. He just saw that one unit, but didn't see the Roaches, but now he's going to see it as well as the Banelings. So Stim's going to go back. These Banelings are going to actually take some of these shell shots, so not being the most effective Banelings, but these Roaches are going to be taken out a lot, but Haspe's going to hold on for now.
And something to point out, the Banglings did force the Bio Army to fall back, so the Siege Shanks got easily sniped, where otherwise they would have to deal with the Bio and then the tanks. So definitely getting his money's worth off of that.
But
Haspe going for a drop play, which is a pretty good idea. If he can get if he can snipe drones, then he might have a way to get back into this game.
yeah, that's definitely true here, but I had to disagree about the Banes not, like, of course they forced the bio units back, but I would say that those siege tanks were dead in either scenario. If they it's a rather if he got the bio units or if he didn't get the bio units at that point. So definitely Haspe knew he had to pull back, so he pulled all those Marines back, so then had the siege tanks fire out those Banelings, because those Marines were the difference between really losing the engagement later on and maybe losing the engagement. But we do see the double drops coming out, so but Mutalisks are gonna go ahead and find these Marines.
Yeah, and there's more Mutalisks than there are even Marines at this point. So yeah, he'll get a couple, but at the end of the day, this is gonna get cleaned up. He's gonna lose both medevacs, that's just gas going down the tube.
Yeah, and we're going to see the main army is down here, and I think Crayon's just showing that he's just so much farther ahead than Haspe. So Haspe's just He's kind of in that Marine King Prime position where he just doesn't want to give up quite yet until it's like very, 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 very certain like he has 10 supply left. So
Hmm. I definitely think that if he can pull off this drop play and he can get them on across the map, get some damage done, he might be able to get back into this. But the Mulists are making that really, really difficult for him, and it's just things are not going well. I'd almost say that Haspe just needs to build an army, move out across the map, and try to take it as quickly as he possibly can. Because the longer this match goes on, the more advantage that the Zerg player seems to get.
yeah, but I'm really impressed with Crayon and his vision spread right now because he's able to see so many units, so much of the map that's why his Munilists are so able to shut things down because they just see the medevac before it even thinks about getting to the base. So, but now is the time. We're going to see the attack coming up with just 2 siege tanks, a handful of Marines, and this is just going to be the march in. Like this is just going to be it. So Banelin's going to roll in. First siege tank goes down. The Banelings make a hit, and that's just going to be GG. Crayon takes it. This first game in this final series tonight.
Yeah, and that's definitely going to show Cran is a very good player in his own right. And although he had a little bit of trouble dealing with his opponents earlier on in the night, he's certainly kind of coming back into it and showing why he's here to a certain extent and how much that he wants it. And hopefully, with the momentum that he has, maybe he can break through and be the winner of the series.
Yeah, yeah. So we're gonna have to see. So, second map that's gonna be coming up for in this series, it's gonna be Iron Fortress.